Let's pay homage to the lineage gurus, homage to the Venerable Mang Liao Ming, homage to Master Sakya Tsongkhong, homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa, and homage to Master Thubten Dorji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of Homa today, the great Sun Tathagata, the all-radiant Vajra, Sumo, Tansen Katso, Tutan Siti, Tutan Kama, all Dhamma masters, Dhamma lecturers, Dhamma teachers, Dhamma instructors, Dhamma tutors, temple and center directors, and all disciples present here and over the internet. Good afternoon, how do you do?
Hola amigo. Te quiero mucho. Koi. Ichiba. Konnichiwa. 现在通知大家。
Would like to announce for next Sunday, November 26th at 3 p.m. there would be Viskambin Homa fire offering ceremony. And Viskambin is one of the 8 great bodhisattvas. The mantra
Na sa sa la za soha Om Na sa sa la za soha 它的手印呢 双手虚
and his mudra, the ring fingers and the thumb touch the ring fingers. So the pinkies and the ring fingers are inside the palms, and the thumbs are touching the ring fingers. So this is the mudra. Viskambin Bodhisattva is rarely performed. 8 great bodhisattvas. As I know, in the Garbhadhatu and Vajradhatu, there is a Viskambin court, and the main deity is Viskambin Bodhisattva, one of the 8 great bodhisattvas. Just now, at my room in the Rainbow Temple, when Sumo came to my room to call on me. It's 3 already. And I said, please tell everybody that everybody should just take care of themselves. Because I'm very tired. I feel very, very, very tired. And Sumo said, how can it be? But there must be someone that will take care of it on my behalf. We have the True Buddha Foundation and the abbot of the Seattle Temple, the secretary, the accountant, and the abbot of the Rainbow Temple, and the manager. There are many figures. Everyone can do it. When they're outside, they do Homa too. So we can have them take care to take my place because I'm really too tired. So like they would study by themselves, like in class in the school. The teacher said, now it's self-study time. In the future, if I cannot appear to preside over ceremonies anymore, Lien Sung should be first to appear. Where is Master Lien Sung? Master Lien Sung is also too tired. Then we'll see which one of the Seattle Temple or Rainbow Temple can all perform it. If these people are not available, we also have Lotus Light Temple and the Puti Temple, and also the visitor from Washington, D.C. They're all capable, or Lien Ning, or the Diamond Temple, or Master Piano can do it too, or Lien Wang. You can't always have me carrying my old age. This old ox has lost his energy. It should be done by the young and strong oxen or cows to plow the field. And my voice has been hoarse for a few weeks now. That's the message between the lines. One day I would not be able to preside over ceremonies anymore, and someone has to take over. It will happen one day.
像我们这个那个大居士，
like the great Buddhists
还有另外我们的大居士，
or the Dharma teachers,
也可以。
like the ambassador can do it too.
对，很多人的人才很多的，
There are many talented people.
声音哑了，讲话还要说话。
My voice is hoarse and I need to still to speak and give Dharma teaching.
唱歌啊，
You can just sing. No need to give Dharma teaching. Okay, that's good too. I've lost my voice and you asked me to sing.
闪闪的星，那一颗是你的眼睛，一片一片的云，飘在地上，落在心里。 一朵一朵的花，荡动在心间，结满晶莹。如果你愿意相信，你就是中心的人。 声音真的是哑。
The voice is really hoarse.
西雅图的天气，
The weather in Seattle is very misty. It's dark at night and rainy and cold and dark. And my heart is also cold. But the ceremony is very bright.
我们刚刚做的是大日如来的护。
Just now we performed the Homa of Mahavairocana Buddha, and this deity is the greatest patriarch of Tantric Buddhism, Vairocana, the all-radiance Vajra. When I saw the primary supplicants, the number of primary supplicants, my heart turned cold. It's such a great deity, greater than Vajrasattva. If we can say that he's the father of Vajrasattva. Vajrasattva is just like his prince or son. The greatest deity of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas. And the mudra that he formed is the mudra of 5 wisdoms. All 5 wisdoms are on his mudra. It's the wisdom, authoritative mudra. Both Garbhadhatu and Vajradhatu mandalas have Vairocana as the main deity. The Vajradhatu refers to the fruition, and the Garbhadhatu is the cause and resultant. And in terms of wisdom, the Vajradhatu is the wisdom, and Garbhadhatu is the concept.
有胎场界才会有
Dharma realm.
金刚界。
Because there is Garbhadhatu, therefore there is Vajradhatu.
所以大日如来
Therefore, Vairocana Buddha
他的
or Maha Vairocana Buddha's mantra
达都这个达都
Om Peta Tatu Fan.
没讲达都
Indonesians say Satu One, number one.
达都就是第一，智慧
Tatu is number one. The one with the foremost wisdom. That's Vajradhatu.
拉红看
La Hom Khan. That represents the whole universe, the whole cosmos. Garbhadhatu Mandala,
地水火空
which are the 5 elements of the 5 wheel stupa.
就是地
La Hom Khan. Earth, water, fire, wind, and space. The whole cosmos or universe is made of the earth, water, fire, wind, and space. And that represents the Garbhadhatu Mandala, Garbhadhatu realm, or the womb realm. Such a great deity, but the primary supplicants were very few. So people do not know.
大家很多人
But for wealth deities, many people register for primary supplicants.
最大
But for the greatest and highest deity,
最伟大的大日如来天照金刚，
the greatest Mahavairukana,
他太伟大，
the all radiance Vajra, or maybe because he's too great, so they cannot reach him. There are only very few.
他有2个手印，一个是之前日，
There are 2 mudras. One is the wisdom authority mudra, which belongs to Vajradhatu, and the other one is the Dharma realm meditative mudra. That's for Vairocana at the Garbhadhatu Mandala. So Vairocana Buddha, Buddhalokana, Padmakumara,
阿弥陀佛，
Mahavairocana, Buddhalokana, Amitabha, Padmakumara. They're on one line.
摩尼佛
We often say Sakyamuni Buddha,
身
his real Dharmakaya is Vairocana, or Radiance Vajra,
教的叫报身，就是如
the founder of Buddhism. And the Sambhogakaya is Buddhalokana, and the Nirmanakaya is Sakyamuni Buddha.
报三身，
So those are the 3 kayas or 3 bodies of the Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, and Nirmanakaya.
讲个笑话吧。
Let me share a joke.
一个病人躺在床上，在医
A
院，
sick person on the sick bed in the hospital,
小姐讲，
and he told the nurse lady,
我没有女朋友，
I have no girlfriends and no friends either, and no money
也没有房子，
and no house.
我是不是真的一无所有？
Does it mean I have nothing? I really have nothing.
护士啊，就跟他
And the nurse told him,
自信呐，
But you should have some self-confidence. How come you have nothing? At least you have illness. Oh, such a beautiful. Vimalakirti Sutra talks about illnesses. Oh, then it makes me sick too. Someone told God, how come other people's cars are better than mine? And all the girls on their cars are more beautiful than mine. Also, God, in the future life, please let me drive a big car carrying so many ladies. And then he became a bus driver. The driver for the big bus. Did you find my voice also hoarse? That's a comforting price. In Indonesia, they are Lian Yang and Lian Jin. So Lian Jin from Indonesia asked question, most precious Guru Buddha Amitabha, I sincerely pray to the Guru Buddha that you would be well and healthy, remain in samsara to turn the Dharma wheel and liberate sentient beings. I would like to ask Guru Buddha, if a spiritual center invites a master to preside over a Dharma ceremony, but the main deity has a complex appearance such as having multiple heads, hands or legs, such as 1,000-armed, 1,000-eyed Avalokitesvara, Mahajundi or Yamataka, etc. It might be difficult for me to clearly visualize the main deity in details, and trying to do so would take a very long time, and then it might still not be complete. Please advise how the presiding master should do. Thank you for your compassionate teaching. Your disciples Lian Jin bows in gratitude. I think I have spoken on this before. You want to visualize Yamantaka. You place the Yamantaka image on you and look at it frequently, so that when you close your eyes, then the image of Yamantaka appears automatically. If you want to visualize 1,000-armed, 1,000-eyed Avalokitesvara, as soon as you close your eyes, then Avalokitesvara will appear, because you often look at their images. The same with Yamantaka or Mahajundi. You don't need to visualize each of the Dharma implements, but the overall image or appearance can be imprinted in the sky.
这是一个方法。
This is a
你
method.
确实没有办法观想。那么
If you really cannot visualize in details,
中间的
then primarily just visualize the face in the middle.
想不出来。
And if you cannot visualize the face in the middle,
第三页，
then just visualize the third eye.
观想它的第三页。
Just visualize the third eye, because one represents many.
一切也就是一，
And everything is also one.
一切也就是一。
So first, in visualization, everything is one and one is everything.
你把很观想的很仔细，
If you visualize one part in great details, and the key point is to visualize the mudra in great details, then that represents everything.
或者你把你要全部都观想清楚。
Or you want to visualize everything clearly,
我现在可以观想出来。很多
say Yamantaka, and I can visualize many legs, many arms, and 2 horns, and his face. I can visualize it.
并不是很仔，
Yamantaka, but not in details, but I visualize the whole image. That's fine too.
你再不行
Many is also one.
观想它的发发
If you can't do that, then just visualize his kapala, one of his arm,
叶刀，
holding the carved knife, and the other hand holding the skull cup. That's fine too.
一就是多，多就是一。
One
所以
is the same as many, and many is equivalent to one. So visualization in Tantrayana has no problem.
是回答应答十连经。
That's my reply to Silian Jin from Indonesia.
每一只手，他的
So,
十任金刚有20
like Kala Chakra
只手，
has 24
每一
arms, 24 hands, and each of the hands hold a Dharma implement. And if you want to visualize them one by one, then the Homa fire would be extinguished. Then what kind of Homa would that be?
这个也是一个重点。你时间有多少？
This is also a key point. It depends how much time you have, then that's how much you visualize. You just do your best.
Xiaoming 早上醒过来，
Xiaoming woke up in the morning and discovered that he was lying in the hospital, and all pains and sores all over the body, and the face was swollen like a bread. And then he remembered he had dinner with a colleague the night before.
于是他就打一个电话给同事小华。
So he called the colleague Xiaohua. So what's going on now? And Xiaohua said, last night I saw you really drunk and became unconscious. So I took you to rest in the hotel. And I called your wife to ask her to come take care of you. And your wife came as soon as the door was open. And because you were really drunk, and then you shouted at your own wife, "Give me a young one." Then he became hospitalized.
今天去医院体检，
today I went to the hospital for medical checkup, and the doctor took the report and told me, "Good thing you came in early." It was like a thunder strike, and my heart stopped, wondering what happened. And the doctor said, "If you came a little bit later, then I would have taken off." My explanation on Vimalakirti Sutra is not necessarily like the explanations of other people. My explanation is rather different. So now Vimalakirti replied, "You asked earlier why there are no attendants here. Because Manjushri Bodhisattva asked, your room is empty, how come? There's no attendant at all, not even one." And Vimalakirti replied, "The question you asked, why there are no attendants, that's because all the myriad demons and heretic followers are my attendants." Vimalakirti replied that all the demons or maras and heretic followers are my attendants. How do you explain this? Why is this so? This is the sutra text. All demons delight in births and deaths, but the Bodhisattva do not relinquish births and death. So all the maras delight in births and deaths. So all the demons delight in births and deaths, the same with humans. That's why I often say, what is to be joyful about births, and what is to be sorrowful about deaths? When one is being born, what is there to be joyful about? And one dies, what is there to be sorrowful about? Only one who has seen through can say that. So demons and ordinary people delight in birth and death, but the Bodhisattva do not relinquish birth and death, because birth is death and death is birth. You come to samsara. If you are born, you're born. If you die, you die. You take it very lightly. The same as they are non-existent. No births and no deaths. How come there's no birth and no death? Because originally it's all empty anyway. That's why a statement in Zen Buddhism, before I was born, who am I? Who was I? After being born, who am I? Before I was born, who was I? And before I was born, I was the true emptiness. After being born, who am I? I am the causes and conditions emptiness. I'm empty by causes and conditions. So demons delight in birth and death, but the bodhisattvas do not regard birth and death as big deal. So seemingly coming and seemingly going. And the same with the heretic followers. They delight in various views. But the bodhisattvas remain unperturbed amidst all those views. So for bodhisattvas, they are all empty. So that's unborn endurance. The heart and the mind are unmoved. Doesn't matter what they see, they stay unperturbed, unmoved. This is the key point. One time, Milarepa returned to his cave where he was cultivating. There was a Mara or demon inside it. And then he applied all kind of ways to chase him away, but the Mara stayed. And then finally Milarepa understood that even the Mara is also empty by causes and condition. So he walked in, and then the Mara disappeared by itself, because the Mara too is empty. So Manjushri Bodhisattva said that I have no attendance. How come I have no attendance? All these Maras, all these causes and condition emptiness are around me. All the heretic followers are around me. Because Vimalakirti is delivering sentient beings, so everyone around him, all the people around him are his attendants. All the Maras, demons, heretic followers are his attendants. That's why I say that the Mara or demon is my spiritual companion. Is there a great sadhaka or spiritual cultivator without a demon by his side? Every great spiritual cultivator would have Mara by their side. So we, the spiritual cultivators, treat Mara as our companions, as our spiritual friends, companions. That's my Dharma teaching. So Vimalakirti too was incredible. Manjushri Bodhisattva asks again. It's not that he did not understand, but in this dialogue, then it would allow many sentient beings to gain enlightenment. So Manjushri asks again, Master, what is the phenomena of your illness? Vimalakirti is the great lay Buddhist master, and you become ill, but illness has no form, but sometimes you have symptoms on you, you look ill, becoming skinny, or fever, or pain. nausea,
吃不下东西，发烧，
and you lose appetite when you have fever.
哪里痛哪里痛，
When you're nauseous, you can't eat, or pains, that's suffering too.
有没有发烧啊？
So,
喷嚏呀，
how is your illness? Do you have fever? Do you sneeze? Do you have running nose?
会怎么样？
Is there pain anywhere? Manjushri asked,
我病
and Vimalakirti replied, My illness is formless and invisible.
没有形，
My illness is formless, has no form.
你见不到。
You can't see it.
文殊师利又问了，是
And Manjushri asked again,
身和雅，心和雅，
Is your illness of the body
这个其实就是说，
or the
你的
mind?
病啊，到底是你生理的病，还是心理的病？
Is your illness of the body or the mind?
身体有病，还是心理上有病？
Is it your body that's ill or is it your
又回答了，
mentally or emotionally ill? Vimalakirti replied, It is not of the body,
大假，
because the body is an aggregate of the four elements, earth, water, fire, and wind.
所以不是
It is fundamentally empty, so it is not an illness of the body, and it is also not the illness of the mind or the heart, because the heart mind is intangible.
也是无形的，本来就是空的，
So the heart mind
不
is
是心理，
formless. It is
也不是生理
originally is fundamentally empty. Therefore, the illness is not of the body nor of the mind.
心理病，
Vimalakirti replied,
是有很多的心理病，没有错。
There are many mental or emotional illness.
躁郁症、
Ordinary beings have many of those diseases,
忧郁症
like OCD, depression. They're all mental illness. Paranoia,
恐惧，你想想怕，其实没什么啊，那你为什么
afraid actually is nothing. But why are you so
还有
afraid?
一种病叫被害恐惧症，常常想着谁要害我，
And it's a paranoia of being harmed.
就是政府
Always think that someone's being harm you. When there's a plane in the sky, you would think that the government is surveying you.
就是
So are you that great?
被害恐惧症，
The plane is patrolling and checking on me.
哪个人想要害人？
And this person is harming me, that person is harming me and trying to harm me. And you're not even Grandmaster Lu. There may be some people who want to harm Grandmaster Lu. And you're not even that famous,
害你干什么？
and you're not that rich. Why would people harm you?
你倒霉，你不
Unless it's coincidentally you encounter a murderer,
真的是没办法，那也是
a murderer who just wants to kill. That's also a mental illness.
那么多的地方发生枪击案，那么地方发生凶杀，
And there's so many gun shooting and in America.
心理病，
Those are sick people.
手相，
That's mental illness. Like the ex-Prime Minister of Japan, Abe,
安倍晋三跟那个
he did not know that person.
接触，
It's just that he was closer to the religious leader,
就认为
and that person
他没有杀
was a follower of the intention. And he did not kill the religious figure, but to kill the ex-prime minister Abe. So he seemed unrelated to Abe. So, and then he killed. So he's expressing his anger at somebody else. So that's a kind of mental illness. And because Abe is more famous and he was killed, such a pity, because from his face I can tell that he is a good and kind person. What a pity. Some people are not afraid of death. A disciple from Vancouver came to find me, and she said that her friend, or his friend, was one of the 10 best accountants, and she applied for euthanasia on December 12th because she was in a car accident and injured the spine. And afterward, she had the surgery and did not recover. So she had extreme headache, could not sleep at night, and pain all over the body, and suffered greatly. Has been suffering greatly. And also ringing in the ears, very loud. It's very difficult to cure ringing in the ears. So very loud and disturb her so that she couldn't sleep. Severe headache, pains, ringing in the ears, could not sleep. So she'd rather die than live. So she applied for euthanasia in Canada. I did not know that euthanasia is allowed in Canada, and it's very easy to apply for one. If I knew that, I should have immigrated to Canada. Now the application for euthanasia in Canada has increased greatly. Everybody wants to die. So Canadians are great. Most people are afraid to die. Even if they live with suffering, they'd rather live. They don't want to die. But Canadians are so brave. They apply to die with euthanasia because they could not live on. And illnesses really cause great suffering. A beautiful accountant could not sleep at night, and she will go through the euthanasia on December 12th. And her friend is a Trubhuda school disciple and came to find me and asked for help and wished that the Golden Mother could help her. And I drew several talismans, and I hoped that they would help her, but otherwise she would die on December 12th by taking the euthanasia. But some people, their lives are worse than deaths, especially in old age, with old age and illnesses, and they are hopeless. If I knew that, why I should have immigrated to Canada instead of America. It's very easy to apply in Canada. Are you Canadian?
你们都是很幸福的。
You're very
人
fortunate.
文身体好啊，你看人文笑嘻嘻的，每天很开心的活着。
But Lin Wen has good health, always smiling and happily living.
我们知道，很简单讲一句话，
We know,
生命
simply said, what is joyful about living, what is sorrowful being dead. Life and death are the same.
人认为
Life and death are the same as nirvana. Vimalakirti does not regard life and death as big deal. But humans do, but I don't either. So we place birth and death out there, and so there are no births and no deaths.
不算一回事，在
No big deal.
在我来讲，生死不算一回事，因为我本来就
It's nothing. To me, birth and death are nothing.
生的
So what is joyful about life or birth? And what is sorrowful about death? Being born should be sorrowful, and dying should be joyful. There is no grasping toward them, no attachment to them.
不是生理问题，地水
So Vimalakirti said,
也不是心的问题，也不是心理上的问题。
it's not the problem of the body because it's an aggregate of the four elements, and it's not of the mind because the mind is illusory.
这个时候啊，
So
有问了，是地大生病呢，还是水大生病呢？火
And Manjushri Bodhisattva asks again, of the four elements of earth, water, fire, and wind, which element is your illness due to? Because these elements are not harmonized, that's why you're
四
ill.
大当中啊，你的这个病呢，是属于
So, of the four elements, which element is your illness due to?
骨头痛，
If it's due to earth, if there's more earth, then you would have pains in your bones or muscles.
就是你的血
And problems with too much water,
你得到坏血，
that's blood,
这就是属于
like you get leukemia,
你血液
those are problems due to water.
或者怎么样，
Or you have anemia,
什么时候
etc. And then illnesses due to fire or too much fire. That means you have rising temper.
气大，
You have fiery temper. There's a restaurant in Taichung that's called
在
Forchita.
这个地中海的地方，有没有？
It's in the Mediterranean. Forchetta means a fork. I think it's Italian. Forchetta restaurant. And it's a pun of a Chinese word meaning rising
没
temper.
有这个
Wu Cai
没有
Dan.
菜单的料理，我今天
Yeah, it's a menuless meals, so
你下次再来，
whatever meals, but it will never be repeated on each of your visits. That restaurant is extremely expensive, and we've been there several times.
火气大，
Forchetta.
我知道，哎，它
Is it delicious? Yes.
味道
Tiny little bit of things, and very different from others. I heard there's one in Taipei and one in Taichung.
好啊，你请客啊，
Sure, but you pay for it. She asked Grandmaster to take us
这
there.
个文殊师利菩萨问啊，是地大的病啊，水大的火大的
Manjushri Bodhisattva asked, of the four elements, which element is your illness due to? An illness due to too much wind? What things is moving is your qi, your subtle vital energy. You can lift up your arm because your mind moves your qi to lift up your arm. If you cannot lift up your arm, then that means illness due to too much wind or due to wind. And illness due to fire has to do with temperature, like fever, cold, feeling cold. So, which element is your illness? Vimalakirti replied, my illness is not due to the four elements, but also not apart from them. It's an illness that's not an illness. Vimalakirti replied, it's not due to earth, but it is also due to earth. It's not due to water, but it is, and it's not due to fire, but it is, and also to wind. So this answer is incredible because it's very complete, so that you can pick on it. Because the four elements are fundamentally empty, and that's real emptiness. If you disintegrate into earth, water, fire, and wind, they're all empty too. So everything is, and everything is not too. So Vimalakirti's reply was incredible. The illnesses of sentient beings arise from these elements. Because they are ill, therefore I am ill. Because sentient beings are ill, that's why I am ill. This statement was spoken by Bodhisattvas and by Vimalakirti. This is the key point. Because sentient beings are ill, therefore I am ill. When sentient beings are not ill, then I wouldn't be ill. Because when sentient beings are not ill, that means they have been delivered completely. Then there's no need to come to Saha world. The Bodhisattvas come to the Saha world because sentient beings are ill. So as soon as Vimalakirti came to the Saha world, he has a physical body and therefore he can be sick. But the sickness too is also empty. So Vimalakirti came to the Saha world to deliver sentient beings is because of the illnesses of sentient beings. And when sentient beings have no illnesses, then he doesn't have to come to the Saha world, then of course he will not be ill. Because sentient beings are attached to their illnesses, but bodhisattvas will not be attached to their illnesses. That's the only difference. Because sentient beings are deluded and bodhisattvas are enlightened. Then you are bodhisattvas. Deluded, you are sentient beings. Because he has gained enlightenment, he came to the Saha world not for the sufferings of sentient beings, to deliver sentient beings. He came to deliver sentient beings because sentient beings are ill. And because sentient beings are ill, of course I have illness. I am not for the illness, but sentient beings are for the illness. So Vimalakirti does not think the suffering of illness is suffering. Only then he is a great bodhisattva. He came for the sake of sentient beings. Because sentient beings are deluded, he came to the Saha world to deliver sentient beings. Actually, everything is emptiness. Romantic love, frankly speaking, that's also delusion. What is love? Let me ask you, what is love that make you follow in life and death? That's delusion and attachment. Actually, it's empty. One day, in old age, both are old, but love is still there. With one kiss, the teeth fall off. That's the scariest thing. When you kiss a little bit too strong, and then you got the teeth of the old lady into your mouth, the denture. And one time, kissing an old lady who's sick, and she coughed phlegm, and then you were kissing her and swallowed the phlegm. That's really scary. Yuck. So young people can play around, but old people should be conscientious. Should know that they're not young anymore. Actually, love is also empty, really. Like those great love are all tragedies. The butterfly stories or couples, 两相婆 and 祝英台, Romeo and Juliet, are all tragedies. That's why they become classics. The prince and the princess have happily ever married. Live happily ever after. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a fairy tale. That's a fairy tale. That the prince and the princess got married and live happily ever after, at most a few years, and then you would know in the future. Just take it easy. Just take it lightly about those things. No big deal. You don't even care about life and death. So let alone love. With an illness, all your desires would disappear. You have no more energy. How can you date? That's fake. You fake to be happy and to smile, but actually you're suffering. That's meaningless, right? Because you're suffering in illness and you can't even laugh, so you look even worse when you try to smile, when you suffer in illness. So beauties don't last a few years, and even sweetness will not be very long. Right, Reverend Lily? The sweetness only lasts momentarily. You were dating several times in your life, but did you ever succeed? You're all alone until now.
对呀，那莉莉法师年轻的时候多美。
Reverend Lily was very beautiful when she was young, and 3 men went to her house to mow her lawn. And when Reverend Lily opened the window, those 3 men just did all they could. That's all about. That's all. That's it. They're all gone now. And Mr. Xu, who wanted to give you a house, a car, and money to let her marry him, and I told her, go ahead. She was very beautiful then. But now, and then she became a nun. Because she had no hope. So because sentient beings are ill, that's why Vimalakirti was ill. If you see through human life, everything is empty. After marriage, I've never seen my wife's cell phone, and today, accidentally, I saw her phone, and I saw the phone call records and the contacts, and there was one that's called the jerk that has many calls records. What do you call it? And the husband was very angry and called the number. That's his number, his phone. It turned out that she called the husband jerk. That's love. Okay, let me tell the last joke. And the lady took the man to go home and meet her parents. And she told the dad, "This is my boyfriend." And the dad said, "Hey kid, I speak very straightforwardly. Please don't mind it. You're so ugly. Where did you get self-confidence to marry my girl, my daughter?" And the boyfriend said, "But uncle, you're even uglier than I am. And yet you married the beautiful and upright, gentle and kind and considerate and beautiful wife." And she's a goddess, a gorgeous woman. And then the boyfriend asked the mom, "Was I right?" And mom said, "Why did you call me auntie? You should call me mom." So the mother of the girlfriend told the boyfriend, "So have dinner with us. Stay. I will go grocery shopping. and invite you for dinner. So, do you know? Sweet talks are very important.
Om Mani Padme Hum.
Om Mani Padme Hum.